Hey guys, some of you will be familiar with this room. This is the Tatami room at the old Japanese farmhouse. Very important room for us. We relax in this room, but also we spend a few hours a day working in this room and making videos for you guys and talking to you guys on the internet. Sadly, the compressor that belongs to that old air conditioner finally gave up. Summer killed it. But it's probably survived at least 20 summers, we would assume. It was pretty old when we got here. It's been really good. We work it to death during the summer. Sometimes it runs 24 hours a day. So it died, and the temperature in that room went up to 34. It was 30 at night and 34 during the day. So the unskilled labourer had a crack at it, opened it all up and had a look at it, and found a fuse holder that was a bit dodgy, and the fuse was a bit dodgy. Fixed that, and no, nothing happened. Compressor just wouldn't start, and it's just really rusty in there and dodgy. So we went and ordered a new air conditioner, and they wanted extra money to remove the old one, and they wanted extra money to actually take it away. So we said, no thank you, we're too stingy for that. We'll get the unskilled labour onto it. So what's happening there is releasing the pressure very carefully, because it's a pressurized system, of course. That's really heavy, that compressor. And then they just tape, there's two pipes, an in and an out, and a 200 volt cable, and they just tape it together, and also a water outlet thing. So we've had a bit of experience with these old air conditioners, so we know that if we cut this off up close to where it goes through the wall, that it will make removing it really easy. You'll also see later on that it's the reverse of what they do when they install it. So cut that off there without setting fire to the house. So there's two copper pipes in there, 200 volt electrical cable, and also the water outlet. So there's a bit to get through, but a grinder will do it. Cut it off as close as possible to the wall. Pull that off. We've already got one of these lying around. They standard in Japan is they sell these split air conditioners with the compressor outside and the fan and the other workings inside. And 4 meters of pipe and cable is the standard. You can get longer if you pay extra, but the standard set is 4 meters, which is basically straight out through the wall and straight outside. So as a result of that, you see some pretty dodgy setups with compressors outside the front doors of people's houses and things like that. Some of you might remember we actually paid extra for the back building when we had to get a new aircon. We got them to give us extra pipe so we could run it round the corner out of the way. So that's done. We'll have a little look at that. So that's what you're left with up there. There's the compressors over there. We're going to have to break that down into little pieces and take it off to the recycling. We'll also split open that hose there. That's tape. They actually tape those things together. And that tape survived about 20 years. And we've seen this all the time. For some reason, the tape seems to survive the weather. So I've got all this rubbish here, pieces of roof tile and that decorative roof thing, and other sundry dirt and mess there, so took the opportunity to tidy that up. Don't sort of come out here much, but it was a mess, so tidied all that made it nice and neat and tidy. As you can see, the back of the house is about due for a paint again. So now we're inside. This part was still functioning, but unfortunately you can't buy just the compressor for an old unit like that. Now if we just lift it up and pull it back, it comes away. So this might be reminding some of you guys of a photo you might have seen recently. And then just remove that bracket. It's pretty simple. As you'll see when the guys come and put the new one in, it's pretty simple the way it's put together. And once you know that, then you know how to do it. Just a few screws. It's not particularly heavy, that unit. It's only got a fan in it and some controls, some electronics and so on. Most of the workings are in that compressor outside, which is why it's so incredibly heavy. So I remove a few screws there, a bit of a clean. That green wall you can see, some of you already know, that's mud wall with bamboo inside it, and then it's rendered with a really nice render to make that finish. But if you scratch it, that's it. You can't fix it. Not without it showing anyway. So this is what you're faced with if you go and buy an air conditioner in Japan. It's giving you all the information there. Now see the sad face? That's actually the socket. So the outlet, the electrical outlet, they have different shapes of outlet depending on the voltage. So in this case we've got 200 volts and 20 amps, which is about the biggest you can get for a house anyway. So other combinations are 200 volts and 15 amps or 100 volts. So the 100 volt ones obviously aren't terribly powerful. You'll often get them in apartments and things like that. But for a big room like this, the socket's 200 volts, and that dictates then what sort of air conditioner you can buy, unless you want to change your power point. So watch out. This has been speeded up, of course, but these guys work fast. They actually had to install 10 air conditioning systems this particular day. We were number one. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. So they did a pretty good job, but we've found with tradesmen in Japan, it's all about speed. They go really fast. They run. They were actually running out to the truck and running back and running around the back and running back, and they said they had 10 installations to do, 10 air conditioners to install during the day. And you sort of have to watch them a bit. You have to tell them, look, I told them I wanted to make sure that was level up there and to make sure it covered that hole. See the hole? He's about to feed all the pipe through to the guy outside. And quite often they'll set the air conditioner up higher and have that pipe just sticking out of the wall where you can see it. And they often do that with electrical too, with the power point. So you've got to say to them before they start work, you know, I really want to make sure this is horizontal, and I really want to make sure that you can't see the pipe when it's installed. And he took a bit of extra effort to do that. But it's worth talking to tradesmen like that if you get them, because they're all about speed. They want to get it done and get away. And we've seen air conditioners that are crooked. We've seen light fittings that are crooked, all sorts of stuff. So there's our compressor. Fabulous. And that's all they do. They do have covers for these things if you want to make it less ugly. They have special covers that go over the top, but it's extra money as well. And for us, we don't go to this particular part of the house. Nobody sort of sees it, so it doesn't really matter. So there's a new aircon installed. So he fired it up. Yeah, it was making some cool air. That was good. So I went outside to have a look, and see the little pipe on the right-hand side there? That's the where the water goes, the condensation from the humidity, because it's such high humidity here. And they only give you that short little bit of pipe, right? And this always happens. You end up with this constant puddle for 4 or 5 months of the year, which can turn moldy because the humidity is so high, and it's just disgusting. And you get mozzies and all sorts of things, mosquitoes and all sorts of things. So we don't like that. So unskilled labour had to get to work here. No, that's not going to be good enough. Not happy with that. Most people are. You see this all over Japan. You see that, little puddles of water. So here's our old pipe. They don't want to reuse the old one either. They won't do that. We've tried that before. They won't do it. But here's the water outlet from the old pipe, right? So let's split that tape open. We need to do that anyway because we want to recycle the copper that's in there. We want to take it to the recycler with some other old metal, including the compressor. So cut it open, get the pipe out, put a joiner on it that just happened to be in the old man's workshop, and run it out to this drain, stormwater drain. And that'll get it away from the house. It'll stop that water getting there and stop the green mold, okay? So we've already done this before. Here's another air conditioner. And we actually run that into a watering can, and that fills up in a few hours every day. And then when it's full, we take that hose out and stick it in the hole. You can see there's a drain there. We stick it in the drain. But we get about 20 litres out of that air conditioner every day. This one we've taken a step further. We run the pipe straight out to the garden where it puts water on the grass and feeds lizards. See the lizard running away? So rather than just losing it, just straight onto the grass. So, oh, by the way, as you'd expect with anything new in Japan, it talks. So after a week of 34 degrees, it was 34 during the day and 30 degrees at night in that room. So we were very happy to have that aircon working. I'm back here talking to you guys. More videos coming soon.